In Lewiston's long textile history, no mill was more storied or significant than the one founded in 1850 by Benjamin Bates. For over a century, the Bates Manufacturing Company was famous for its fine fabrics and bedspreads. Recognize anyone in this 1948 Bates ad? That would be Yale student and future President George H.M. Barber Bush. But by 2001, the same modern market realities that had closed down all the other mills here finally caught up with Bates, too.
My grandfather was a huge supporter of really keeping Bates here in Lewiston, here in Maine. And when Bates closed, he was really sad to see that this textile tradition in Lewiston could just fade away into the past.
Bianca Cloutier's grandfather was Fred LaBelle, who rose from cotton grader to president of Bates Manufacturing. In 2002, using equipment salvaged from other closed mills, LaBelle, with his daughter, Cloutier's mother Linda, created Maine Heritage Weavers and put many of Bates' former employees back to work.
Fast forward 10 years, we're outgrowing our space in Lewiston and start looking for a building that can house our growing operation.
They found it 15 miles north of Lewiston in Monmouth, Maine, where today Maine Heritage Weavers continues to keep a textile tradition alive. It's leaner, 21 full-time workers on a single shift, but the same iconic Bates products are still leaving the looms.
About a quarter of our team worked at Bates previously, and that's where they learned whether it was weaving, stitching. They came from that tradition.
Like weaver Dot McAtee, who was hired by Fred LaBelle in Lewiston over 30 years ago.
I take pride in being able to go into a store and being able to see a bedspread, because right now I'm the only weaver that makes these. So, you know, I take a lot of pride in what I do.
One of the things that really motivated my grandfather is he had a huge belief in the craftsmen and women of Maine to make some of the finest products, not just in America, but in the world.
While in Monmouth, we couldn't resist stopping by the town library, which is located in Cumston Hall. Cumston Hall, you may gather, is not something you pass by every day.
It's a magnificent, iconic space. Another newspaper described it as walking into a confection, that it's like a wedding cake. I love working here, absolutely. 286 total.
Don McAndrews is the artistic director of the theater at Monmouth, a professional theater company also located in Cumston Hall.
And when we have young people come to see our family shows, they want to go into the tower. They want to know if the ghost lives there, Rapunzel, who's up in the tower.
The real fairy tale is how it came to be built. In 1899, local boy made good Dr. Charles Cumston offered to build Monmouth a new town hall, complete with a library and first-class music hall. To build it, he tapped a local artist who had never designed a building before.
But the older man, Dr. Cumston, came to the younger artist, Harry Cochran, and said, why don't you draw up some plans to house all of these different things and use your imagination?
And he did. The building is now on the Register of National Historic Places. The acoustics of the theater are striking, but most of all, Charles Cumston's gift to his hometown keeps on giving.
This community has a very strong commitment to this building because they own it. And every evening when we welcome the audience, we thank the people from Monmouth for the opportunity to perform here.
Heading back to Lewiston, we detoured just north to the town of Mechanic Falls. When we passed the big silver spur, we knew we'd found our stop.
First thing I have to tell you is that Maine is one of the largest contributors to country music in the entire country.
But Slim Andrews was just getting warmed up.
We're the only state non-profit Hall of Fame for country music northeast of Nashville, Tennessee.
When people come in here who've never been, what kind of reactions do you get?
They go, my God, we're amazed. We never realized that we had something like this in Maine. Oh, yes.
Three whole rooms of memorabilia, all about a New England musical and cultural phenomenon that's not well known outside of these parts.
Now, Maine, about as far as you can get from the South, the West, not to mention Nashville, people surprised to find out that the state has this rich, long tradition of country music?
Yeah, all the time. And I said, really, it's pretty simple. When the only radio station you can get was WWVA in West Virginia, where did most of us go? My dad bought me an old one crystal radio set with the earphones at 8 years old. I'd fall asleep and listen to Lee Moore, the coffee-drinking Nighthawk, from WWVA in Wheeling, West Virginia.
Because it was the only station you got?
Yeah.
And thus, an entire generation of Mainers took to country music, including Leonard Slim Huntington, inducted into the Maine Country Music Hall of Fame in 2002.
The Slim Andrews Corner.
Yes.
Your boots,
Yeah.
a couple of hats,
Yeah.
your CDs.
Yeah.
This must be nice to see this stuff in the Hall of Fame, huh?
You better believe it.
Most people would associate bean boots with Maine as opposed to cowboy boots.
Yeah.
But you are here to prove people otherwise.
You better believe it.